The title of my informative speech is Cruisin' Through the D. My speech will inform the audience about the different ways General Motors has impacted the city of Detroit and most Americans. Most of the time, when people think of Detroit, they think of a rundown city that is full of crime. But Detroit is much more than that. It is a city that put the world on wheels. General Motors is much more than just a car company. It's one of the big three, which includes Ford and Chrysler, and it employs over 200,000 people. To help my audience understand just how much General Motors affects the city of Detroit, we must talk about the many different rises and falls of the company and how even through all of that, it has grown to be a very large and very successful corporation. Before people make judgments about the city of Detroit, the Motor City, they must do research on it to learn about how much it was a beautiful city that was full of life, wealth, and the booming car industry. Although these days Detroit is known for being a city of poverty and crime, at the start of the 20th century, Detroit was a beautiful city and was opened up to the world of cars. General Motors was founded by William Durant on September 16, 1908. Before William, most of the automobiles known around the world were powered by steam or electricity. When General Motors first opened, it only had the Buick Motor Company. But it didn't take much time for General Motors to get popular and expand to more than 20 different companies. Some of those companies include Pontiac, Cadillac, and Oldsmobile. William Durant was a very talented and genius man who probably had no idea just how large his new company was going to grow to be. But he is not the only one with great automobile ideas. Although William Durant is the founder of General Motors, Henry Ford was actually the first person to build a car in the city of Detroit. Henry Ford was the son of a farmer and in 1896 decided he wanted to build a car of his own. Like I talked about earlier, there were already certain automobiles that were made around the world, so most people were not too shocked when they heard of another person building another car. However, Henry Ford was unlike the rest of the manufacturers. He was the originator of the assembly line, and essentially the phrase, the Motor City. As the years passed, the assembly line was able to build the frame of a car every 93 minutes and manufacture a complete Model T every 24 seconds. The creation of the assembly line changed the way that the automobile companies built cars and in turn became the reason that General Motors became as popular as it did. Together, with William Durant finding General Motors and Henry Ford inventing the assembly line, they built an empire around the city of Detroit, and General Motors is continuing to expand and excel today. General Motors has been successful since the day it was founded back in 1908. That is, until they declared bankruptcy in July of 2009. The company was suffering in sales so much that not even $19.4 billion of federal money could keep them from going bankrupt. More than 20,000 people were left without jobs as General Motors was forced to close down over a dozen facilities. Being as persistent as Detroit is, the bankruptcy did not last long. Before we knew it, General Motors was up on their feet again, hiring a lot of people and being more competitive than ever. The new General Motors says they are working to design, build, and sell the world's best vehicles. General Motors is a diverse and growing automobile company that employs many different people and continues to improve the city of Detroit. General Motors is much more than a car company. It is one of the big three, and over the years it has had many ups and many downs, but in the end it has grown to be a very large and very successful corporation. General Motors opened the city of Detroit to a thriving business and gave it the nickname the Motor City. For years and years, people have been working for this corporation and have built their lives around helping the business grow. Together, William Durant and Henry Ford built the empire around the city of Detroit, and they will forever be remembered in Detroit's history. Although General Motors had a rough patch and had to let go of more than 20,000 of their employees, their hard work and drive to become a better place has risen them back to the top, and today they are working again to design, build, and sell the world's best vehicles. When people think of Detroit, they sometimes get distracted by the crime and poverty that it has been stereotyped to be, and forget about the amazing car companies that gave it its impressive reputation it has today. Detroit is more than just another city that has occupied car companies. It is a city that put the world on wheels. Thank you.